Driving through the state of Nevada, you'll cover a lot of desert land. Ranchers successfully raise livestock, but very few farms exist. The terrain can seem barren and desolate, but it's surprisingly fertile grounds for a different kind of crop: church plants. Back in 1959, a missionary named Laverne Inzer was commissioned by Southern Baptists to plant churches in the northern parts of this expansive state. He was tireless, often traveling 1,000 miles a week. He ministered to people in gambling towns, on ranches, on Native American reservations, and in gold mining towns. That's where he met Tom and Donna White.
When we first met Reverend Inzer, my husband Tom was working in a gold mine. Laverne Inzer was a big hero in my husband's eyes because he drove so far and sacrificed so much to come and share the gospel. Tom was very stubborn. He was not going to believe the Bible. He thought he needed to read Greek and Hebrew. And Reverend Inzer was very persistent, and he said, "Tom, I read them both. It says the same thing."
Tom and Donna started attending church regularly, and it wasn't long before God placed a special calling on their lives.
Tom surrendered to be a preacher, and he began planting churches with me right at his side. The big push in our ministry was to go where the people needed Jesus, if there were 3 or if there were 300, but to go to the people and take the gospel to them.
Tom and Donna had 3 children, and as the Lord led Tom to start churches, the whole family went as a team, everyone helping out. Today, one of their sons, Kevin, is the executive director of the Nevada Baptist Convention.
Ministry was a blast with Mom and Dad. We never felt like we were just along for the ride. It was always some kind of grand adventure with us. And Dad, at times when I got older, would ask me to go and cover and supply preach, and that's what God used to call me to ministry.
A generation later, God's master plan for the White family continues to unfold.
I'm so thankful for my dad's legacy because I think his heart for missions passed down, not just to me, but now my sons, Bo and Austin, are both serving the Lord.
Recently, I became the pastor of Calvary Baptist Church in Dayton, Nevada. Growing up as a pastor's kid, my dad would take me to literally everything, and it's really helped me as a pastor know how to love how God calls us to love.
I'm an IMB missionary serving in South Asia, sharing the gospel, discipling new believers, and planting churches. And I would not be the missionary that I am today, especially in a rural setting. It would be very different if I had not seen that example through my grandparents and my parents.
Tom White served for more than 35 years. Like his hero, Laverne Inzer, he was a man who didn't mind going the distance.
Across northern Nevada, actually, my dad became known as a church planter. And he really felt the challenge to go where other people didn't think there could be a church. And he just thought, let's see what God can do. It's up to him.
Tom had a God-given talent to be able to go into a community where they didn't even want a church, and he could get a church planted there. In Tom's last months, we knew that he would be going to see Jesus soon. He would always say, "Lord, give me one more burst of energy, and I'll go get that mission in Wadsworth going."
After Dad passed away in 2007, of course, Mom was lost a little bit, not sure what to do being a pastor's wife.
I did not know who I was without Tom White. That was my greatest struggle. I had to remember that God had called me also, not just my husband. He had called me to ministry.
Through the support of loving family and friends, Donna slowly adjusted to life without Tom. She stayed committed to playing piano for the church and focused on discipling women in her home Bible study.
And we thought everything was great, but in 2015, we were told Mom had severe stage 4 cancer. And I told her I'd help her and do whatever I could, but we had to just trust God's plan. I asked her about signing up for Mission Dignity, maybe trying to get some help, and she didn't want that.
I just felt like there were so many people who needed the help more than I did.
Eventually, she was willing to sign up and let me put her name in to help with some of the costs that it took to take care of the doctor bills.
After my application to Mission Dignity was accepted, I received a wonderful phone call from a gentleman who just really took time that day to find out how I was doing, and the love and caring through that phone call was amazing.
She called and just told me how much she felt loved and how it felt good that her and Dad's ministry had not been forgotten. People appreciated what they had done, and I had known what they had done. And so it brightened a son's heart.
Through Donna White, Mission Dignity is serving 3 generations of God's servants, fulfilling the promise to care for retired pastors, church workers, and widows.
My family is extremely thankful for Mission Dignity and what it's done for my grandmother.
With Mission Dignity, she's receiving help that she needs, and it takes a lot of the pressure off of us, allowing us to serve God in confidence and have that peace of mind while we're on the field that Grandma is taking care of.
People like my mom, they need to know they're not forgotten for their many years of ministry.
Mission Dignity has been such a blessing in my life. I just want to thank you all for giving to Mission Dignity.